Well, hello and welcome back to my workbench. It is time once again to try to fix something, whatever this is. This is pieces of a PS5 that I have bought. So, yeah, you can kind of tell what it is. It's not all there. There's a lot of pieces missing. There's a bag of screws. We have a note, South Bridge, HDMI encoder, short under magnetic module. This is somebody else's project that they did not finish, and I have bought it. I think I paid $100 for this thing. Knowing there's going to be some missing parts on the main board, but hopefully I have those. But we're going to see if we can get this thing back going again, and maybe we have enough parts on hand to finish it out. I'm not sure. We'll give it a try though, but yeah, we're not going to try to power this one on right away. We're going to take it apart and just see what all's missing. But we know it's been worked on. I'll read you the description. This is a used non-working console I purchased with the intent to fix. Tested to have a bad South Bridge and HDMI encoder chip. Removed it, but never finished. Life's gotten complicated, and I need to let these things go. Should work. There's no power supply, also no power supply included. So yeah, I think we're missing power supply, South Bridge, HDMI encoder. Who knows what else? Well, this should be fun. Let's get into it and see if we can get it back going again. Well, our circuit board is out. I'm just giving it a quick look over. First thing I'm noticing is some liquid metal. Well, this entire foam piece is missing, and there's liquid metal sitting at the edge of the bottom of the APU here, which is not what you want to see. Not what you want to see. Can I get that? So I wonder why they were messing with the APU. I still got liquid metal under the edge of this APU here. It's not coming out. Well, I'm going to have to get some paper or something and get this stuff out from under the APU. There we go. Okay. Got that little ball out. I'll take a look from the side with the microscope, see if there's any more under there. If we're lucky, it hasn't gotten all underneath there. So this is what we're starting with. I do see a South Bridge. There is a South Bridge. So I thought that had been removed, or maybe they just decided it was bad. HDMI encoder is missing. And we kind of knew that. It's got NP written right here. If that means no power. Not sure. Okay. I don't see any liquid metal right now on the edge. There's a little bit, still need to clean right in there. As long as it doesn't go flying everywhere. Anything else been removed? Something was said about some shorts under this magnetics module right here, but you're probably going to read shorts there. That's just some transformers. They do have a connection to ground. I'm seeing some caps removed in that Ethernet circuit. There's these 75 ohm resistors. There's a big cap to ground here, and there's some tiny little caps that are missing. That's probably not fatal. They go to ground, but we'll need to look into that. So is this suspected to be a lightning strike? I don't know. Now they did mention they thought there was a bad south bridge. Let's just take some readings under the south bridge and see if we see anything shorted, shall we? All right, I'm in continuity mode. I'm just going to hit some of these coils. This is one right here that usually, yep. All right, we do have a bad south bridge. That 5 ohms, sometimes that's 2 ohms, but that comes from the RT5126, or this has got the dialogue chip on it. That same 5 ohm should be visible right on a capacitor in, is it there? Yeah. So we do have a bad south bridge. I think I have one I can revol. So yeah, to start with, we have to replace the south bridge, and we have to put an HDMI encoder on here, and then we can give it a check to see how much current it draws. So let me get to that. So we have installed, or replaced our south bridge here, and we have installed an HDMI encoder over here. It's time to see if this thing does what it should. We're going to check our current draw. We're going to give the board 12 volts and see what happens. 300 milliamps, and come back down. That looked normal. I will take that. That looked healthy. Now I've still got to come up with a seal to put around the top of the APU here. I think I have one. I can pull one off a donor or something. But we'll have to get that sealed up, get some liquid metal on there. Oh, and I did notice, looking under the microscope, you really can't tell here without looking under the microscope. These resistors behind the Ethernet port are blown. They have little tiny holes in them. All 4 of them do. So, and like I said, these capacitors are missing right here. There's a few of those. Not too critical, but we will get those. If she'll turn on, then we'll get those changed out. But yeah, so that definitely is proof of lightning damage. So yeah. All right, let me find a seal for the top of this, and we'll get it back in the chassis. And I guess we can put our battery back in, and we will see if this thing will turn on. Well, with our south bridge replaced and our HDMI encoder installed, I did transfer the seal, the top seal and the foam seal on top of the APU from another board over to this one. Put some fresh liquid metal on there, cleaned off all the old stuff that was still on the heatsink and whatnot. So, fans connected. I think we're ready to try this and see if we've done any good whatsoever. Yep, let's find out. Blue light. Fan spinning. Are we going to get some video maybe? Is that too much to ask? I did look at the HDMI port. It's an original port. It looks okay though. I didn't see any pins broken loose. Flashing blue light. Lots of flashing blue light. Oh, yeah, storage repair. Video, yes. That's exciting. Okay, she's going to come back to life, isn't she? Yeah, whoever was working on this, they were close, and they just kind of stopped. There we go. We are back. All right. Still some parts missing. I need this. You know, the side plates are missing. Some screws are missing. Oh, I need to replace those resistors on the Ethernet port. Some resistors and capacitors. Right now, the Ethernet port, I don't think probably will not work right without those resistors and stuff. Let me. I do have some of that stuff. Some new. I got some new resistors. I bought some. Haven't even used them yet. Those are all 75 ohm resistors. Let me do some. Replace that stuff and see if I can scrounge up some more parts, and we'll try out that Blu-ray drive, which is supposed to be matched to this board. We'll find out though. All right then. And for those of you who may have been wondering, yep, firmware 7.60. Nice. Well, this PS5 is fully reassembled. I have had to scrounge up a few parts for it, namely the power supply with the antenna, the side covers, these vent trim pieces inside the edge here. Let's see. The Blu-ray drive is a good match for this board. I've loaded again. I did have to replace the ribbon cable for the Blu-ray. That was bad. But after replacing that, it was fine. I need to check if the Ethernet port on it works. So let me see if I can back out of this. Yeah, I can go into some settings. Network. Let's see. Wired LAN. All right, I'm going to connect it to my switch, not to the internet, just to my switch. See if we get a link after replacing those resistors and stuff. LAN cable connected. Excellent. So, there you have it. All of its major issues have been fixed. We did have to replace the south bridge, HDMI encoder, a few resistors, a few screws, power supply, antenna, side panels. But, you know, I was only in for this thing for like $100, so I'm pretty happy with the deal overall. Plus, it's 7.60 firmware. So anyway, not a bad deal. Well, I hope you liked that one. That was somewhat interesting, educational, entertaining, any of the above. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. And I'll see you in the very next repair. So long for now.